Hey folks, Levi here once again. Welcome back to another video. I know guys, it's been like 2 weeks since I've been done a video. I'm sorry. It's just been, I've been working. It's been some family stuff going on. Nothing bad lately. Nothing. Well, two of my parents, had surgery. My mom just, I think, got out of the hospital today. She's okay, I believe. I might call her later, but she's doing alright, I think. But she just had some surgery, and last weekend, my grandfather, we spent, having a birthday party for him. It was his 80th birthday coming up next month, so we kind of had a birthday party for him. So, that was fun. Last weekend, yeah. But I'm sorry, I just haven't been doing any videos, y'all. I've just been busy at work. But as you know, I'm on my superhero marathon for my channel. I'm on the 80s era of superhero movies. I hope you enjoyed my review of Swamp Thing. And now next on to my next superhero review. That is a superhero comedy film. This is actually, I believe, the first Marvel movie, and that is Howard the Duck. Yes. This movie is just ridiculous. It is. This movie for me is so bad it's good. Yeah, this film was not good. It's really bad. But I'm not saying it's terrible. No. I'm just saying this is laughably bad. But this film has many problems. Many issues. And like I said, this is the first Marvel movie. Way before you got The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, which I do like that movie probably more than this, but that's just me. Of course, other Marvel movies you did have in the 90s a little bit. I don't think too much. Well, Blade. This is before you got Blade, Sam Raimi, Spider-Man, X-Men. This is all way before the MCU was created. Because he is a Marvel character, so this is the first Marvel movie. People could say the Captain America 1940 series, but no, that's serials. That's not a movie. This is a feature film, so this is, I believe, the first Marvel movie. Yeah. It is a special edition. You do have a look back at Howard the Duck. The cast and crew reflect on the making of the film and the groundbreaking special effects. Releasing the Duck explored the public's net reaction to the film and its transformation into a cultural phenomenon. Its new features, you got the sunset of the movie, the special effects of the movie, the music of the movie, and teaser trailers, I guess, for the film. Howard the Duck, trapped in a world that he never created. That's basically his tagline. So, let's get into it. For the production, it was actually George Lucas who stepped down with President Lucasfilm to focus on producing films including Howard the Duck. Yeah. This was before, I think, George Lucas, probably after he made Star Wars, and I guess wanted to produce it. Anyway, let's get into it. George Lucas attended film school with Willard Huck and Gloria Katz, who later co-wrote American Graffiti with Lucas. After the film's production concluded, Lucas told Huck and Katz about the comic book character Howard the Duck, primarily written by Steve Grover, describing the series as being very funny and praising elements of film noir and operation. In 1984, Lucas was relinquished his presidency of Lucasfilm to focus on producing films. As one of the documentary, a look back at the Howard Duck, Huck, Katz, and Lucas began to seriously consider adapting Howard the Duck as a film, and met with Grover to discuss the project. Steve Grover's account differs slightly. He recalls that at the time he was not approached to discuss the film. Lucas was not yet involved with the project. The film was optioned by Universal Studios after a partnership with Marvel Comics. According to Marvin Acme, Sidney lobbied very hard for Howard the Duck because the studio had passed on previous projects in which Lucas was involved. And this is when he, of course, had the Star Wars films already, because, Return of the Jedi came out in 1983, so I guess he wanted to focus on doing other movies. Hux and Katz strongly felt that the film should be animated, because Universal needed a film for a summer release, and thinking that the animation of the film would take too long or cost too much. Lucas suggested that the film could be produced in live action with special effects created by ILM, his company, Industrial Light and Magic, who had done special effects for Star Wars and many other effects for movies. Special effects, CGI for movies. Production designer Peter Jameson and director of photography Richard Klein were hired to give the film a look similar to that of a colored comic book. Throughout the shoot, Huck shot multiple segments establishing Duck World, which is Howard's world, designed by Jameson. In the opening shot, the skyline display could easily be New York City, but the tomb is visible in the sky at similar angles from one of the two suns of Tatooine in the original Star Wars film. Howard's department is filled with detailed props, including books and magazines featuring Duck-oriented puns. Because Lucas often ordered a door for actors, he was able to hire a number of extras to work on these sequences. Though Grover's schedule generally prevented him from being present during the shooting, he chose to miss the deadline on the first issue of the Spectre so he could watch the final day development. And Howard and Katz began to develop ideas for the movie. Early in the production, decided the personality of the character would be changed from that of the comics, which, however, was rude and obnoxious, to make the character nicer. Gilbert read over the script and offered his comments and suggestions. In addition, Hux and Katz met with Gilbert to discuss a horror sequence which they were having difficulty. During the screenwriting process, a stronger emphasis was placed on special effects rather than satire and story. Overall, the tone in the film is opposition to the comics. Whereas Kate's Clary is a film about a duck from outer space, it's not supposed to be an essential experience. We're supposed to have fun with this concept. For some reason, reviewers weren't able to get over that problem. Gilbert declared that the comic book series was a joke. This is no joke. There it is. This comic giggle with the funniest gag in the universe. Life's most serious moments, most incredibly dumb moments, are often experienced by a point of view. Anyone who doesn't believe this probably cannot enjoy reading Howard Duck. However, after shooting this film, Gruber stated that he felt the film was faithful to both the spirit of the comic book and the characters Howard and Beverly. An early produced storyline involved the character being transported to Hawaii. Hope states that his storyline was centered because we thought it would be sort of fun to shoot there. According to Cates, they did not want to explain how Howard arrived on Earth intentionally, but later wrote the screenplay so that the film would begin on Howard's homeworld. Hux and Cates wanted to incorporate both lighter, humorous elements and darker, suspenseful elements. Cates states that some readers were confused by the sexual elements of the screenplay, and they were unsure whether the film was intended for adults or children. Hux and Cates wrote the ending, leaving the story open for a sequel, which was never produced. Adaptation. The film was originally intended to be animated based on the character created by Steve Gruber, and quoting script by Bill Bento. Duck was a story of Howard the Duck magazine states. A commercial would require Lucas to provide a short live-action film, so he decided to make the film using live actors and use special effects for Howard. Case that the animated film would have taken too much time and money. The script generally altered the personality of the Howard character, played the story straight instead of as a satire, removed the surrealist elements, and added supernatural elements that could highly special effects that was done by ILM. The filmmakers consulted with Disney's lawyers to make sure Howard didn't resemble the Disney character Donald Duck too closely. Howard's appearance was redesigned several times during the process, including his clothes and the shape of his bill. The film's screenplay was adapted into comic book, formed by the writer Danny Finbert and artist Kyle Baker. After auditioning member of actors and singers models for the role of Beverly, Leah Thompson was cast due to her appearance because the year before she wasn't Back to the Future. Now, Thompson, she had been a singer and stuff. I think she sung before. She said something like that in an interview. But during behind the scenes of the movie, her and the crew members, the cast members that were playing the other singers, behind the scenes, they had to practice singing and dancing for the movie. Thompson purchased clothing from thrift stores because she wanted to appear as audition as cross between Madonna and Cyndi Lauper. During the shoot, Thompson complained that the filmmakers chose to shoot Howard's close-up before hers. Thompson also states that she regrets not wearing a wig, as her hairstyle took 2 hours a day to prepare. Jeffrey Jones was cast because he was born in oddness. Although Tim Robbins had no prior film experience, Hudson and Cash were confident that he was right for the part. Robbins said later that he doesn't look back negatively on the film, as he got his big job that was paying a really decent salary, and it was for George Lucas, so it was a huge deal at the time. And then they were going up over a shooting schedule, and I ended up getting paid twice for that movie because of all the overtime. Robbins admitted that he thinks more about the money he made than the quality of the film. To play the physical role of Howard, Hudson Cates held casting calls. The Door Factory originally casting child actor Jordan Prince and hiring Ed Gill, who had been rejected because he was too tall for the role, to perform stunts and play the role during even shoots. But they couldn't do CGI for Howard. This was 1986 at the time, in the 80s, so there was no CGI. So they had to, at first they were going to make Howard mechanical, but they decided to give it a bodysuit, and it was actually Ed Gill in there, and he still has like the duck hands from Howard, he says in an interview. Yeah. Gill would have Bell, but eventually Ed Gill took over the role for Howard. Hux and Gates auditioned a number of actors, including John Cusack, Robin Williams, and Martin Short for Howard's voice. Williams worked for a week before quitting, saying, "I can't do this, it's insane, I can't get the rhythm of this. I'm being confined. I am being handed an order of master flapping duck's bill." As a result, Chip Zien was cast because the filmmakers felt his voice suited the part, because Howard's voice was not cast until the film had begun. It was extremely difficult. Prince began on the film November 11, 1985, and wrapped on March 25, 1986. Jeffrey Jones altered his voice for Jennings after the Possessed by the Dark Overlord, which he demonstrated when interviewed by Dallas Fort Worth. The sequence was difficult, requiring actors and Robbins and Gill to fly the plane. The location scout was stumped for the location of the sequence. for the special effects. However, it was intended to be fully computerized, but these attempts proved unsuccessful. The idea of fully, however, was explored with the filmmakers determined that they would need an actor in a suit to portray him. Lucas built an animatronic suit, costumes, and puppets because limited preparation time. Dust created for the film were exposed to loose feathers. Motor dusts were built in the wrong preparations. On the first day of shooting, the crew realized the poor quality they found, so the puppet's neck was visible when his mouth opened. Hulk repeatedly reshot scenes involving Howard as the animatronics were improved because one of the puppeteers were in charge of controlling different parts of the animatronic body. Hulk wasn't able to coordinate the shot properly. The opening sequence where Howard's chest sparkled out of his apartment used wires that were later digitized by computer. This was the first use of technique, which soon became popular and used in other films such as Back to the Future Part 2, Terminator 2, and The Matrix. The voice of Howard, Chip says, was not cast until the shooting was completed because Gale's voice was difficult to hear through the suit. Hulk ordered Gale to perform his scenes without speaking any of the dialogue, which was later during the editing process. Leading puppeteer Tim Ross was given a microphone attached to a small speaker, which would allow Ross to speak the dialogue and help the actors respond to Howard's dialogue. While wearing his suit, Gale could only see through Howard's mouth and had seen since his location without proper eyesight. Gale often had to walk backwards before beginning rehearsals. Between takes, the hairdryer was stuffed in Howard's bill to keep Gale cool. Gale tapped two of his fingers together to wear the three-fingered hand created for the Howard costume. A total of six actors give physical performances to Howard. Gilbert was impressed by Howard's performance and commented it was bizarre. Makeup artist Tom Berman and actor Jones discussed the appearance of the Dark Overlord. Developed the characters. When Kate's daughter visited during filming, when she saw Jones's, Jeffrey Jones's transformation in his makeup, the little girl actually screamed and was scared and ran away from him. So, the diner sequence was practical effects, which I'll get more into the movie. Soundtrack. The score was written by John Barry, although some of it was placed by Steve Carlisle. He did the song, Howard, I do like some of the music in here. It does have some cheesy music in here, yes, but I like it. Like I said, the test screenings went all right. People laughed, but kids claimed she tore up negative response cards so they could say, we got a new, Gene Siskel gave one star to calling the film a stupid movie. And so the story has no center, the duck is not likable, and the special effects less for the Spartacular on birthday cake. He claimed the movie was not enough to comment and that Howard should have been given either the personality from his comic books. But Howard the Duck, he was created by writer Steve Kubert and artist Val Merrick. His first appearance in the comics was in December 1973. And him and Beverly here in the comics. Basically it's about Howard the Duck, who's a duck, who lives in Duckworth, gets transported to Earth, and he goes on all these adventures and stuff. And I can tell he's a duck with a bit of a mouth and a rude attitude toward him. He always found moments of originally, like Nick Carter does, he wore no pants. I don't know too much about the character. Howard does not have enough powers, but he is skilled in the martial arts known as Quack Fu, Kung Fu, so it's Quack Fu. But he has no powers, so, For the cast, you have Al Gill as Howard the Duck. Yeah, he was in other movies, like he was a dink in Spaceballs after Howard the Duck, Child's Play 2, he's like a super performer as Chucky. Oh, okay, he was Baby Blue in the Jungle Book. I didn't know that. Bride of Chucky, he was Chucky in the Suit. Okay. So he was in a few movies. Jordan Pence as Howard the Duck. Tim Ross, C-Suite, Peter Marbles, also as Howard the Duck, Puppeteers. Chip Zien as Howard the Duck voice. Lea Thompson, you know her from Back to the Future. All that movie, I remember she was in Red Dawn. Yeah. She was in Dennis the Menace, the Beverly Hillbillies, and the ABC Family, well, now Freeform, but it was ABC back then, and she was on a TV show called Twist at Birth. So, beautiful actress. I've always liked, always been a fan of Lea Thompson. Tim Robbins, he was also in another superhero movie. He was in Green Lantern, which I like. He was in, you should know him as Andy Dupree or whatever in the Shawshank Redemption, Mystic River. But mostly, I think he's most notable for Shawshank Redemption. Yeah. He's been in a few other movies too. I think he was in War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. Jeffrey Jones, you should know him from, he was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Beetlejuice, The Hunt for Red October. But I just know him from basically Beetlejuice and Day Off, Ferris Day Off. And he was also, he was also in Stuart Little, which was 1999. And Dr. Dolittle too. He was also in Sleepy Hollow, directed by Tim Burton. He was also in Ed Wood, which is also directed by Tim Burton. David Palmer as Larry, Paul Khalif as Lieutenant Welker, Louis Sell as Barnett, Dermot Dills as Kel, Holly Robertson as Casey, Tommy Sawyer as Ginger Moss, Richard Edson as Richie, Miles Chaplin as Carter, Paul Kenny as Doug Chapin, Richard McClellan as First Cop, Virginia Cops as Cora, Miguel Santos as Bar Entertainment, Supervisor William Hall as Officer Hansen, Richard Kelly as the Cosmos voice. It's also developed this film has developed a cult following, but it was developed as a cult following, but it's been considered one of those movies ever made. It was nominated for 7 Razzie Awards, winning only 4. There was also a video game based on the movie. Yeah. Howard the Duck did have a video game. The game involves players controlling Howard to save his best friends, Phil and Beverly. After being parachuted to Volcano Island, Howard needs to find a backpack to proceed with the search. The game consists of 4 levels, in the last which Howard, armed with a neutron gun, will finally face off against the Dark Overlord. The game got bad reviews. I've seen parts of it on the computer, on the internet, on YouTube, and it doesn't look really good, but I never played the game. But I will say, if you're nostalgic for this movie, if you grew up in the 80s, you probably still have a fond, loving memory of this movie, but for me, this movie is bizarre. But again, it's a movie about a talking duck from outer space. It's ridiculous. It's bizarre. I'm not expecting a masterpiece here. It's like the writers knew this was going to be bad. I don't really consider this a kids' movie. I say it's more for the adults. But, what are you going for here, It's like this movie's one that doesn't know what it's going to be for kids and adults. I mean, there are certain things it shows which I will talk about. But it's not fully a kids' movie. I wouldn't recommend it for your kids because it can show nudity. It can also have language in it. It can also, especially almost a sex scene between Howard and Beverly. And, when the Dark Overlord, you see him transform, it might freak kids out. And Jeffrey Jones' appearance might scare kids. So I wouldn't say this is a kids' movie. Definitely not. But the plot of the movie is that the film is based on the comic character Howard. It's about Howard, who lives on the planet Darkworld, with a planet of intelligent dust with arms and legs. To Earth, he goes to Earth, where he lands in Cleveland. There he saves band rocker musician Beverly from these thugs and forms a friendship with her. She introduces him to Phil, who is a lab scientist, Dr. Jennings. When the doctor attempts to return Howard to his world to help him out, Jennings gets transformed into an evil spirit into his own body, which is the Dark Overlord. And this Dark Overlord, wants to bring all his monsters, the other Dark Overlords, to our Earth to take over the world. So, and he cannot speak. So Howard must become a hero and eventually, save Beverly and stop the Dark Overlord from taking over the Earth, and he must defeat him. So, yeah. So that's the plot in a duck shell for you. I'm just kidding. Don't get your feathers twisted in a wig, okay? No, I'm just kidding. Alright. Alright, we'll go ahead and talk about the movie itself. Oh, I forgot to... Did I forget to mention? Yeah, I forgot to do this. Sorry. The film is directed by William Hook. It's written by him and Gloria Kitts. It's based on Howard Duck, created by Steve River. Produced by Gloria Kitts, George Lucas. Starring Lee Thompson, okay, I've already mentioned that. Cinematography is by Richard E. Klein. It's edited by Michael Chandler, Cindy Wellstein. Music is by John Barry, Sylvester Lloyd. Songs by Thomas Dobley. Production company is Lucasfilm. It's distributed by Universal Pictures. It was released on August 1st, 1986. It's 111 minutes long. About 1 hour and 50-something minutes, I think. 51 minutes. Budget was $37 million. At the bottom it was $38 million. So they pretty much did not get its budget back, so it was a flop. Yeah. I'll talk about the movie itself. Let me give my final opinion and thoughts on the film. So the movie pretty much opens up with Howard on Duck World. You see Doug's in commercials, like a football commercial. You got like they represent Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it's called Breeders of the Stork, starring Howard. And you see that Howard was not a movie star, but other movies he's into. And all his performances, all these duck puns. And this movie does have a lot of duck pun jokes, and Howard's just sitting down, just watching TV. Until eventually he hears this earthquake, and it takes him, he's going through the building and the apartment he's going through, other people's apartments, these ducks are sleeping, they see him like, whoa! And not kidding you not, before he gets transported, Howard is looking at, it's like a Duck Playboy magazine, but it's the Doug version, and he's looking, he's like, oh yeah, baby. And I'm like, and then like when I mentioned before, when he gets taken on the earth, when he's getting transported, you have this duck lady who's in her bathtub singing, and you see duck tits in this movie. I kid you not. But you see it's nice special effects on Earth, and you have the Cosmos narrator speaking, and they say, "How good duck," Oh, okay, it's called Play Duck magazine, not Playboy, but Play Duck. He lands on Earth, he gets in Cleveland. First thing he's got people harassing him, he gets scared, he's got these people grabbing him and trying to get him to the bar. This is where Beverly works, they throw him out. He runs into these bikers, they slap him around. He almost touches this girl's leg, which is laying out with this guy by accident. Howard's just freaked out. He hides in a barrel. Eventually, Beverly coming out, these guys are harassing her. And he's like, alright, no more Mr. Knight's ducks. So he's like, I was like, are you ready for, quack foo? And Howard's able to take him out. She helps him, but knocks her, Howard's, first the guy's arms, he's like, fingers like this. You better leave this lady alone and leave. And I was like, okay, we're gone. They run away. This way he meets Beverly, and he has nowhere to go. You have this cheesy music going on. She tells Doug, he's like, this is Earth, I think. Just really awkward dialogue. But she takes Howard home with her, just so he can stay over, so spend the night. Just some more, bizarre dialogue. This movie just has weird, bad dialogue, But she's like, oh, Ducky, she calls him Ducky, of Howard, falling asleep and talking about, the world he's from. He tries to not make Doug references or whatever, tries to give Howard a bowl to eat out of. He's like, no, I just drank a beer. And she's like, I know somebody who can help you. Can't tells her that he's from Duck World, but Howard gets sleep for the night. You have this little cheesy love music between them. It is cheesy. I hate using that word, but this film is cheesy as well. Now, I don't want to say this is like one of the worst superhero movies. No. I've seen far worse. This film at least knows what it is. Yeah. Beverly takes Howard to a supposed scientist by the name of Phil Blumert, played by Tim Robbins. And Tim Robbins, I'm sorry, this is his worst performance. I thought he was terrible. He's annoying. First thing he comes off, he's like, I got something. Never mind. Or, half the time he's trying to tell Doug, can you bend this bar? Can you use your heat vision? Can you read my mind? And can you speak? Quack, 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 quack. I'm like, come on, my dad does a better impression of Donald Duck than you. But he's trying to do an impression of Donald Duck, and it's just very annoying. And of course, you find out he works there, that he's a janitor. They talk about Howard, that they make the joke about humans being primates, which I don't believe we were ever primates. But anyways, imagine Howard, the duck, they make jokes about it, and find out he's nothing but, he's not a scientist, he's more of a janitor. I'm like, Howard, Howard's like, forget about this. He tells Beverly off. He's like, I don't want to hang out with you. People are like scared of him. Kids run up to him. He's like, hears them all. He's like, I'm tired of you touch. Just leave me alone. I was like, well, I hope you enjoy your life, Howard. And I was like, I will. See Howard going to this lady who was Uncle Phil's mother from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. If you've seen that show with Will Smith, she says, Howard, I'm going to get you a job, you lazy bum, just trying to get unemployment, make a job for yourself. No way. There's a weird moment where she turns around. Howard's looking at her ass. I'm not kidding, and it looks like he wants to eat it. So she puts his paper in this, and I was like, "There's your new job." Like I said, this movie. But these two months of learning each other, this cleaning up. It's a romantic spa. You have everybody making out. You have some people naked there. We don't see too much nudity. But Howard's like, I'm on break. His boss is like, go clean it up, and he throws Howard in the water, in the hot tub with these people, this couple making out. Remember, not a kid's movie. So Howard is most by pushing him in this mud and says, I quit. Howard goes on the bus. People make fun of him because he's just a walking duck, and Howard sees this commercial, duck hunters and stuff, and what happens there is like, freaked out, runs. Ends up seeing the bar where Beverly's at, Her band is called Cherry Bomb. Howard comes across the manager. Then he says, he badmouths them. When he hears the guy badmouths the band, he's like, I'll take the band from me. He's like, give me the money. He's like, nope. They push Howard, but Howard gets up, does his crack of food, knocks one guy out, and almost, he has like an earpiece on, and Howard's got a cut on his like this. You're not going to be the manager. He's like, no more. And he comes to Beverly and apologizing to her, and then you have Tim Robbins showing up, Phil showing up, saying, Howard. I'm like, oh my God, shut up, dude. Tim Robbins is so annoying. I just want to punch him in the face, They should just kill the guy off, but they don't. But after Howard goes to Beverly, she allows Howard to stay with her. They go back to her apartment. And she's like, Howard, you can be a new manager. And there's this flirting moment. They begin to flirt with each other. Like, maybe it's not a man you need. He's like, what duck you would find love in the animal kingdom? I'm sure you would. And he's like, nervous at first. And this is where it gets very bizarre and awkward, where you think they're going to make love or whatever. At first she thought it was for Lee Thompson to be in love with her son in Back to the Future, but now she's in love with the duck. And she's flirting with him. She makes his feathers go up, kind of giving him a little bit of an erection there. And you think they're about to go at it, but Jeffrey Jones, Phil brings Dr. Jennings over, and they see them like, yes, I'm like, what? I was like, oh, there's something going on here. It was like, Jeffrey Jones was like, well, I may know how to help you get back to your world, He shows Howard this to Howard. They came to Earth. It was 2 weeks before where they were working on this dimensional jumping device that just happened to be aimed at Howard's universe. By accident, they set this device off, and Jenny said he found a feather, and that's when Howard landed on Earth. They theorized that Howard can be sent back to his world through like a reversal time or whatever. So they drive Howard to the lab with the intention of sending him there, but they have to sneak in. The device malfunctions, unfortunately, and it sends something else. And Jenny's body is taken over by a life form that, at first, Beverly, Howard's about to be arrested by the cops. And they want to arrest him because they think he's a freak. But Howard gets away. They trust, they even get away with Beverly grabs a gun, and Howard tosses the gun away. So they run to Jenny and say, come on, let's get out of here. Jennings can't drive really well. They end up going to a diner, and eventually, he says, "I'm not Dr. Jennings no more. I'm the Dark Overlord. I'm the Dark Overlord." He uses tip powers. They try to give Howard, eggs, which freaks Howard out. Oh, take that bite. Just give me a beer, And these guys try to mess with Howard. And Howard gets smart with them back. He has a fight with them. Puts pies and throws pies in their face. They all want to attack Howard and kill him. She wants to ask the Dark Overlord for help, but she's building more and more. He gets more disfigured as the movie goes on, slowly. The diner chef almost gets ready to kill Howard, but the truth is he's scared off when the Dark Overlord comes, and he's able to use fire and use his abilities. Some special effects by Ion. Be right back. But anyway, he destroys the diner. One guy tries to attack him. Charlie tries to attack him, but he uses his ship powers on him. Then he kidnaps Beverly. First he blocks him, but he's like, he's seen you. He's going to go take over the war. So Howard realizes that he's got to stop him and save Beverly. But then he tries to invade Earth by the Dark Overlord, kidnaps Beverly, because they need human bodies, so he's going to use her first. They steal this autocraft, where this is the scene where you get the plane, though, that him and Tim Robbins fly. The cops are chasing them. Jennings is becoming, Dark Overlord is becoming more disfigured and monsterly figured, and she uses powers on a cop. During this chase, though, Howard can't really fly. He's like, Howard, you can fly. Find your instinct. He's like, I can't find my instinct. He's like, fix the fuel line. So, Tim Robbins finds the fuel line, and like before, ends up, end up getting hit by water, getting back up. Nice plane shot, with the aircraft. Because Howard finds failing to freeze him. The Dark Overlord ties Beverly to a desk and puts her under the laser. Basically planning to to transform a Dark Overlord into her body. Howard and Phil find a way into the lab. They find this nutrition generator, it's like a military test gun or whatever, which they can use to defeat him. Dark Lord tries to attack, but they shoot him, and Dark Lord, you see his true appearance, kind of like a big giant crab. Some of the effects don't hold up, but some of the effects, it looks creepy as well, as Howard tries to go run to the gun, and he's got like this tongue out of his hand to just grab Howard. Howard's able to cut it off eventually. He's got, Phil and Beverly, shocks them, and they're just, doing this. Like they got the boogie woogies or something, but, Howard ends up, driving the car, this truck with the gun on it, and shoots it at the monster, kills the Dark Overlord. It's like the monster Scorpion, I'm sorry. But there are already more of the Dark Overlords coming all the way to Earth. So Howard is forced to decide between letting Earth's invasion take place, where he returns home on Earth the laser. So Howard could return home, but he saves Earth, and he uses the laser gun and shoots the machine down, destroying it and defeating the monster lords. You think Howard's actually like, "Oh, Ducky, are you okay?" He's like, "We're so good. This world was maybe go off to a better world." Like, "Oh, I'm okay." Yeah, and they give each other a hug. Howard chooses to become Beverly's band manager, and I guess you say, because there's one awkward moment when, I forgot to mention that when they're in the diner, the truckers and people are attacking, are going to kill Howard, she's like, "Hey, he's my boyfriend!" And like, that's weird, it's disgusting. But I do like the song that Howard got, dun, 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 dun. I like there's a scene though where Howard's in the apartment playing this music a little bit. Dun, dun, and they have, the concert. Howard's able to get them a concert and ends up on stage like Howard the Duck. I'm sorry. Howard chooses to become Beverly's band manager. They have a little concert. Howard ends up on stage himself playing a little bit of the rock band, which is cool. Bites it with his teeth. Dances back. Some cool dancing. For a duck, he can dance. And at the end, her and Beverly just say, "Hey, Ducky," and they just kind of share a moment with each other at the end. And then that's the end of the film. But I love Howard the Duck, that little song. That was awesome to listen to. Before I get my final opinion, maybe I can do some quotes with this movie, because this movie has some awkward dialogue. A lot of puns, a lot of bad puns in here. I've got a headache, and because, she's trying to get in bed with Howard. I was like, "I've got a headache." She's like, I've got the aspirin. Be gentle. No one laughs at a master of quack foo. No one, That's it. No more Mr. Nice Duck. I've given up to Aslan. I've got to get back to my own kind. Although I have developed a greater appreciation for the female version of the humanity, woo. Howard, you really are the worst. Hee hee. Come on, let's watch David Letterman. Come on. I was worried about you. I missed you. Well, sex appeal. Some guys got it and some guys don't. We've got a saying on my planet. If God intended us to fly, He wouldn't have taken away our wings. It feels like something inside me grunting at my guts. What's wrong with me? Well, what did you have for lunch? Rosie, help me. Rosie, help me. Never heard of a duck that couldn't swim. Shut up and save me. Not bad for a duck from outer space. You were a great ducky. Every duck has its limit, and you, scam, have pushed me over the line. You got someplace to go? Hey, if I had someplace to go, I certainly wouldn't be in Cleveland. I don't know where you now, but I hope you're happier there. This world didn't treat you very good, but you saved it, didn't you? Duck. I'm proud of it. Duck. Because he's telling Howard Duck, and Howard's like, I'm proud of it. You think that's funny, Jenny? I'm not Jenny anymore. The transformation is complete. I am now someone else. The Dark Overlord. Try to tell that to your insurance company. I'm sorry I'm so nervous. It's just that I've never around it. I've never had any pants or anything. That seemed like such a hassle, feeding them, cleaning up their little poo-poos, and I'll try to be careful. How the hell am I going to explain a manhunt for duck? It's a duck hunt. Yes, please don't start, please. I want to see your license, Jack. I have no license, and I am not Jack. Howard, in prehistoric times, you flew. How fly, Howard? Finders to trust your bird is fly. Howard being stripped by the cops. On my planet, we never say die. No, not my shorts, you perverts. Put him down, Howard, maybe a duck, but you people are animals. He's my boyfriend. That's disgusting. You don't make me proud to be a human. And one night we saw a theater where Duck is not on. If they send me here to save Earth, then Howard Duck is ready to fight. I'm not going to sit here and read a bunch of old dialogue, but that is some of the quirky dialogue you hear in this movie. There's many more. Let me give my final opinion on Howard the Duck. Let's first. What time is it? 12:15? Okay. Let's go here. Alright, anyway, Howard the Duck. Yeah, this movie is so bad it's good in my opinion. This movie is not a good movie. What do I like about it? Well, I do like Howard the Duck himself. I do think he looks like an animatronic. The animatronic for Howard, I think, is good. It was 1986, and again, he doesn't look terrible. The design and stuff for Howard looks real good. And I thought, Abigail did a good job. I like Leigh Thompson. I think she's definitely beautiful in here. I like her hair and stuff. She can sing too. What else can I say I like about this movie? Well, some of the cheesy dialogue, the cheesy, romance is fun. It's weird, it's bizarre. This movie is just so bizarre and just so out there. It's just, it's just a movie you can't take seriously. It's so bad. There's a lot of moments I just love it. That's what I can like it for. But the bad moments. Now, Tim Robbins, he's awful in this movie. Like I said, his character is so annoying. I can't stand him. The story itself is just not very good. I mean, I do think it's an interesting concept that you can have fun with. I agree that Howard, who's a duck from another planet, Duck World, but once you get into the whole plot with the Dark Overlord, it's not really that interesting. And this movie is very random. Like I said, you see duck tits, you see nudity, and then the Dark Overlord. That could be pretty intense for kids. I think it would scare them. That's just me. But I would say this is not a kid movie. This is more like a movie for adults. Just because you see Howard the Duck, don't be fooled by this, thinking it's a kids movie. But the pacing is also my biggest problem. The pacing is not really like when you get to the second act, the third act of the movie. The pacing, it slows down. It feels like it takes forever to end the movie for the plot to get going. It takes forever to kind of get there. And the diner scene just kind of went on for a little too long, in my opinion. And the flying, when they're flying aircraft, and it just goes on for too long. And it kind of, in the movie, the pacing of this movie, it drags a lot. Now, it's not boring. I did fall asleep, and not because I'm bored by the movie, just because I guess I was tired. But the movie does drag a bit, and the acting can be really bad too. Leigh Thompson I thought was good. Jeffrey Jones, he's very over this episode, but he's also creepy. But Tim Robbins is all over the plot. The plot is really ridiculous. It's very stupid. I could see why. But I think it's meant to be a stupid, bizarre, over-the-top movie. I mean, a duck from outer space. What do you expect? What are you expecting out of this movie? A talking duck from outer space. So when you watch this movie, just don't expect the unexpected. Don't expect a masterpiece. It's not a good movie. Don't expect a good film. But if you can watch a film that is so bad, so good, if you kind of consider it a guilty pleasure, I don't. Well, maybe I would call it a guilty pleasure. Yeah. I would say it's a guilty pleasure, definitely, but it's not a good movie. It's not one of the worst of it. No, I wouldn't say it's one of the worst films ever. I've seen a lot worse. This just takes the concept to a whole new level. It's a bizarre movie. So, it's just a ridiculous, over-the-top, bizarre, stupid movie. But I can have fun with it. It's just so bad I can laugh at it. Again, I've seen worse superhero movies. There's a lot worse out there. this film didn't piss me off. The only thing that pissed me off was Tim Robbins, because I thought he was annoying. I just hated his character in this film. And he didn't have that acting experience at this time. Clearly, Tim Robbins just did this movie for the money, clearly. He's just so being over the top and bad, doesn't care, just, gets paid a lot of good money. Got paid good money, I guess, to get a paycheck for doing this movie. It's the only thing he cared about, apparently. Didn't care about the quality of the film, the movie, just cared about the money. So I can tell that in his performance. But everybody else seems to try and care. And, the producers and stuff, the director, I don't think he did a bad job. I know people will probably say, you can make fun of me, but some people do love this movie, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are nostalgic for the movie. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all nostalgic about something, Like, for me, Batman and Robin, I like Batman and Robin more than this. I love Batman and Robin. Well, I don't love Batman and Robin. I like it. It's bad. But I'd rather watch Batman and Robin over this, but that's just me. Yeah. But Howard the Duck, it is. It is bad. But, Marvel was not completely over. Marvel just, at this time, I usually say for Marvel, this was a time where the film was a flop, and, Marvel did not become what it was today, thanks to the MCU, but thanks to many other movies before it. Howard the Duck might be the first Marvel, this is the first Marvel movie. My rating for this film, since it is a bad movie, a bad, stupid movie that I can laugh at for how bad it is, I'm not rating for Howard the Duck, I'm going to give it 2 out of 5 stars. It's just not a good movie, but I do like some things. I do like the chemistry between Beverly and Howard. It's very cheesy and bad, but just very awkward. But I just somewhat like it. So, these two kind of made me just want to stick with the movie. But despite that, though, there are many other problems, like I said, with the bad acting, the bad dialogue. All right. So. This movie kind of makes me feel like a sitting duck. Excuse my bad pun, but anyway. I am Duck, and proud to say that I don't fully hate this movie like people do, but I do agree, I can see why, if you do. I can understand completely why if you hate it, but my rating for this film is 2 out of 5 stars, and a so-so, thumbs down. It's just not very good, but it's a laughable film. But that's Howard the Duck. So guys, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of Howard the Duck in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Did you grow up watching this movie? If you did, and you disagree with me, and you love this movie, that's fine. I'm not going to pick on you. I'm not going to make fun of you. It's fine. It's cool. If you love Howard the Duck, don't be ashamed to say it. Do not be ashamed to say it. I always welcome opinions here on my channel. You can always say how you feel about the movie, whether you like it or not. Don't be ashamed. And if you hate the film, that's fine, but I don't hate it. I don't think it's that bad. It's bad. It's really bad. Well, it is bad, but I can have fun with it just being a bad movie. There's some bad movies like this that are fun. But anyway, Howard the Duck, tell me down 2 out of 5 stars and a thumbs down for it. So tell me guys in the comments down below, what do you think of Howard the Duck in your opinion? Tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of this film in your personal opinion? What do you think of Howard the Duck? Alright, for my next movie, superhero review. This will be actually I wish I could review it today, maybe. But anyway, this is going to be a review. I did review this on my channel before. That's because the remake came out in 2014. Yeah, this is when I started my YouTube channel. But this is going to be a re-review. And I consider this character, he's like a hero to me. He is not a superhero, he's a cop. And he's a robot, and put that together, and my next review will be the 1987 science fiction film, RoboCop. Yes, the first one, the original. Love this movie. Yeah, love RoboCop. Great movie. Can't go wrong with it. This will be my next superhero review. So, yeah, like I said, I consider Robo a superhero. So tell me, guys, hopefully look forward to my next review. This will be a revisit review. So this will be the first time on my channel that I do like a re-review. But I'm going to call it a revisit review. So Yeah, because I did review this film on my channel before. I will share it probably again today. Maybe I'll review the movie today if I get time. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments down below what do you think of Howard Beck in your opinion. I look forward to my next superhero movie, and that is RoboCop. So stay tuned, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what do you think of Howard the Duck, and I hope you stay tuned for today, probably for my review of RoboCop. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you probably next one, maybe. If not, maybe Friday. So see you. Stay tuned. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.